Okay, today we are going to go over the information about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We did an activity in class today that sort of gave you an intro to that information. So now we're going to look a little bit closer on where he came up with that idea and things like that. So let's start with Abraham Maslow. He's the guy that came up with this pyramid that you guys saw in the project today and that list of needs that we've talked about earlier in this unit. So, Abraham Maslow is a humanistic psychologist. He believed that all humans have certain needs that need to be met, and we've talked about several of those earlier in this unit. And what he did with that information is he placed what he saw as things that all humans need on a pyramid. And then he went ahead and classified that or made that pyramid into 5 different steps. So he classified the needs that we have already talked about into one of the levels on that pyramid. Now, if you remember from earlier to that activity, that pyramid does have those 5 steps. So we're going to talk a little bit about tonight is those 5 steps that we've learned about or where those needs fit on those 5 steps. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up because those are the basic needs that everyone has. So we'll start with physiological needs. These are the things that people need to live. This would be to satisfy the needs of hunger and thirst. So our basic physiological needs are food and water. Everybody needs them to live. Everybody needs them to survive. And so those are pretty basic needs. So once you've met that need, then you can move up to that next step on the pyramid, which is your safety needs. These are the needs that you have to feel secure, safe, and out of danger. So in your everyday life, you can think about this as your house. You need to be able to get out of the elements, especially here in Wisconsin. We get a lot of crazy weather that happens. And then it also extends to feeling, especially when we're kids, that we have someone to protect us. I was always terrified of thunderstorms. So whenever we'd get a thunderstorm, I would kind of look for my mom or dad to help me out and make sure that I wasn't scared and felt protected. So that's your safety needs level. If we go up to the third pyramid, that is our love and belonging. So this is our need as humans to affiliate with others, to be accepted and to belong. So for most of us, that includes our family, whatever that family structure looks like, because it's a little bit different for everybody, it seems like. That's that need being met, that you feel like you belong, like you feel like you have a place, you feel like you have people you can turn to if you need to. And then once we get a little bit older and we get into school, we all have different peer groups that we want to belong to. Everybody's got their own, if you want to call them cliques, if you want to call them groups, doesn't matter what you call them, but you all have your friend groups that you're affiliated with. And for whatever reason that you're friends with those people, usually it comes back to feeling accepted, feeling like you belong, and feeling like you're part of that group. So once you've met those needs, and again, we see those when we're younger as more of the family, and then as we get older, that sort of becomes our friend group as well. So then we have to think about where do we want to go with our lives? When you all leave this building, your high school, you're going to come up with some kind of a career, whatever that happens to be. And when you get there, especially with careers, you need to feel like you can achieve, you can be competent, you can gain approval, and you can gain recognition. For you guys now, that's at school. Is your teacher giving you compliments when they give you your grades? Do you feel like you fit in at school? Do you feel like you're learning? Do you feel like your teachers are recognizing that you're learning and growing as humans? As you become adults, it's going to be in your job and in your home life. Is your boss recognizing that you've done good things? Is your husband or wife recognizing that, you're going out and you're working and you're making money for the family? And then that's going final step on the pyramid, which is self-actualization. This is the need to fulfill one's unique potential. This is where you do things just for you, not for anyone else. You're not going out to please anyone else. You're not, setting that goal for anyone but you. For me personally, when I became a teacher, I always wanted to get my master's degree. So now I'm working towards that master's degree. So when I meet that goal, it's not because of the extra money. It's not because my parents will be proud of me. It's because that's something that I've always wanted to do and I've always wanted to achieve. So that would be me meeting that self-actualization part of the pyramid. So We've talked about that pyramid. You've seen it several times over the last 2 days. You've probably read the little section out of your textbook about it. And, with that activity that we did today, that hopefully now that you know what that pyramid is all about, can really hopefully wrap your head around that activity we did today and those needs we talked about, stranded on a desert island, what would you bring with you, things like that. So what do I want you to do with it? Where do I want you to go from here? We're going to have a quiz tomorrow. And on that quiz, there's going to be 3 different sections. Section 1, I'm basically going to give you that blank pyramid with the 5 levels. You need to label the levels of that pyramid. So if you need to go back on the PowerPoint, if you need to go back to those handouts you had today, but you need to label that. The second section is going to be matching. You've got to match, I'll list needs, you got to match it with one of those levels on the pyramid. And then finally, the third section is where you're going to compare your physiological and your safety needs. Easiest way to do this, give me some examples. Tell me, this is food, this is a need that I have, and talk about why that's a need that you have. Remember, earlier in this unit, we talked about needs. So explain to me what those two mean and use examples to get full credit. Last but not least, if you're watching this and you ran into any questions, shoot me an email, write those down, ask me those tomorrow before that quiz so I can answer those for you before you take the quiz so you do really well on that. And then second, I'm going to give you a bonus word that if you come tomorrow and you show me, write that word down or you email me that word, I'll give you a couple extra points on this quiz. That word is going to be banana. If you come to school tomorrow, you tell me banana, I'll give you those extra points. Again, questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day, guys.